Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 836 by the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review, enacting state government and making an appropriation therefore to take effect immediately. Bill related to the budget.
Senator Leno.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, before I present this trailer bill, I'd like to introduce my sister, Jamie Zimron. Many of you know her, having benefited from her golf instruction.
Welcome, welcome.
So this is our first general government trailer bill, and it makes some technical statutory changes for the implementation of the general government operations and state administration. It establishes the Department of Fiscal, the state's new fiscal management and reporting system. It also clarifies the criteria that the Governor's Office of Economic Development, otherwise known as GoBiz, may use when awarding tax credits for California Competes program. And then it also makes a technical change. This is due to a delay in the federal contract award to the tax credit for the Advanced Strategic Aircraft Tax Credit by extending it for 1 year. And then additionally transfers $1.3 billion from the general fund to the State Project Infrastructure Fund for the construction and renovation of state buildings, including the Capitol Annex. And then authorizes data sharing of quarterly wage data among state agencies, including the California Community Colleges and Department of Social Services. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Leno. Debate or discussion? Senator Cannella, followed by Senator Nielsen.
Thank you, Madam President. I think one thing that was left off of the description by the budget chair was it also does another thing. It requires that any CEQA attack for state buildings be resolved within 270 days, and says that a court shall not enjoin the Capitol Building Annex project in granting relief unless there is an imminent threat to public health, safety, or historical artifacts. So that sounds familiar, I'm sure, because we did that for the Kings Arena a couple of years ago, and I voted for that. I'm going to vote for this bill as well. But I will be honest, I'm getting frustrated with all these CEQA exemptions or workarounds when there's so many other projects in the state of California I think that are worthwhile as well. One example is transportation. We've been talking about a transportation fix now for almost 2 years. And I think the last part that we're hung up on is some modest CEQA reform to allow transportation projects to be constructed in a timely manner. But apparently we can't do that. However, when it comes to a project that we like, or the majority likes, then we can do all sorts of creative things to make sure those projects are built. So now we've got the state annex building, we have the LA NFL stadium, and we have the Kings Arena. And if it's good enough for that, it should be good enough for other projects in California as well. And I think what it's doing is identifying a real problem. I think there is a problem, yet we just keep doing these one-offs and two-offs, and I don't think that's fair, certainly to the people of my district and to others in the state of California. So I'm going to vote for this, but I wish we could do some real CEQA reform that would make a big difference in the state of California.
Thank you, Senator Cannella. Senator Nielsen.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, this is the bill that I referenced erroneously previously about the priorities and are trying to fix state buildings now when we do have needs for highways. And I also find it ironic that in this particular case, it's going to benefit the state or the legislature. So we're going to exempt the state and the legislative buildings from CEQA. But everybody else, no, we can't do that. Another very onerous provision here, and I've read it carefully. Historically, those of you who have served in local government realize the burden of unfunded state mandates, or how hard it is to get those mandates paid by the state. There's language in this trailer bill that will make it even harder, if not, I would argue, impossible, for local government to perfect any mandate to be paid. It's purposefully done there. I believe the Department of Finance doesn't want to ever have to pay those mandates. That's why it's there. That provision, so onerous to local government, is reason enough to vote no on this trailer bill.
Any further debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Leno, you may close.
Thank you, Madam President. Let me just briefly respond to a couple of the issues that were raised with regard to Senator Canella's comments about the CEQA review, and again, as accurately described, is not an exemption, and legal challenges, litigations, lawsuits, restraining orders, all of those things will still occur. When feasible, the idea is to contain it to with 270 days. And in addition, there is a mediation clause that can kick in under certain circumstances. Not surprisingly, we get ourselves to the same point coming from different previous positions. I did not support this language for those stadium projects. I had my own reasons for it. I just thought when billionaires are going to build something, I don't want to give them these one-offs. This building in particular, I feel differently about. It either needs to be rebuilt or seriously renovated. That's yet to be determined by a serious review of which would be more cost-effective. But this is the People's Palace. About 1.5 million people come through our doors every year. There's no admission charge. They have an opportunity to come to our galleries. They have opportunity to come to our committee rooms, which, as we all know from working in them so regularly, are highly overcrowded. If there were fire marshals present, they wouldn't allow half as many people in those rooms. It just doesn't serve the public well. I don't even want to talk about what the situation would be if, in case of an emergency, fire or otherwise, people had to leave. You know how few the exits are in this building. And so I have a comfort level of making this building an exception to how I feel about these other approaches to the bigger issue of CEQA. With regard to the local, well, then also with regard to putting the $1.3 billion of one-time general fund money into these building infrastructural projects. Yes, we have a huge backlog of transportation needs. Figures that we've seen total about $57 billion. To address a mountain that high, we need a new and dedicated revenue source, ongoing, because the needs are ongoing. And we have an open special session to continue to work toward that end. And I encourage us all to continue doing that. This is one-time $1.3 billion. So it's really not in any way a resolution to our transportation needs, but it is perfect use of infrastructural, in particular now building needs, because we can build not just one, but a couple of new entire buildings and complete them with these one-time funds. It's exactly how one-time funds should be used. And then with regard to the local mandates, all this bill does is changes one of the options for how we determine what it is that we actually owe locals when they claim that there is a mandate put upon them. And currently, unaudited costs can be used to make that determination. Unaudited. This will allow for the auditing, so we know that our general funds, when repaying locals for mandates we put upon them, have in fact been determined to be accurate. That's all it does. It's not an intention to stiff anyone, but to make sure taxpayers are getting what they should be getting in terms of service relative to these mandates. I ask for your aye vote.
All debate having ceased, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. No. Block. Aye. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines. No. Galgiani.
Where is
Aye. Glazer. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Weso. Aye. Huff. No. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nielsen. No. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
De Leon. Fuller. Glazer. No. Hall. No. Lotta. I. Runner.
Ayes 25, noes 12. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 137, SB 837. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 837 by the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review, enacting state government and making an appropriation therefore to take effect immediately. Bill related to the budget.
Senator Leno.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, this is our second general government trailer bill, and it also makes some technical statutory changes. It extends from 2017 to 2022 the current tax credit for farm donations to food banks. We talked about this yesterday. It also increases the value of the credit from 10% to 15%. It also establishes the California Energy Solutions Grant Program until July of 2020. That provides grants for housing solutions for people experiencing a housing crisis or homelessness. It also provides necessary clarifications for departments to implement the Medical Marijuana and Regulation Safety Act to protect public safety of communities and health and safety of consumers. Well aware, especially through the leadership of Senator McGuire, that there have been serious environmental degradations as a result of marijuana production. It also provides for the expansion of the low-income housing tax credit by allowing its sale and eliminating federal tax implications. It also creates a new program for transitional housing for ex-offenders. I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion on this item? Is there any debate or discussion? Senator Nielsen.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, we have just had an exhaustive and very healthy debate about open government. It's ironic that now comes before us this bill, a trailer bill that contains therein one of the most sweeping public policy changes in our history, dating to the very origins of our state and private property rights, in this case, water rights. A bill related to legislation to regulate medical marijuana growing passed last year with members maybe well-intended but not considering the unintended consequences that have prompted the administration to move forward with regulations and now this provision in the trailer bill to allow medical cannabis growers who have the highest priority to perfect a new water right. Normally, if one applies for a water right in California, it takes 17 or more years to perfect that water right. And one has to go through CEQA to examine all consequences. Now, there's a separate kind of an irony because the illegal marijuana growers are the worst polluters in California, and they care not a whit about the pollution that they put into our waterways. I have worked for years with our local sheriffs to provide security for our state regulators to be able to go onto the properties, private properties of people where these poaching marijuana growers are polluting. They're very dangerous. These are going to become now medical marijuana growers, by the way. But these now, pursuant to this trailer bill, individuals who prospectively apply for water rights to be perfected will go to the top of the list above anyone else who are legitimate producers of agricultural commodities. And they will be exempted from CEQA. They're purported to be some 50,000. But let me tell you, once these folks understand the value of water rights, there are going to be a lot of medical marijuana growers in California seeking to perfect those water rights. That is a shame. At least that is a bill that would warrant exhaustive policy committee hearings in both houses of the legislature, not what we've got before us here today. That is a historic moment. And I believe it's shame on this legislature for upending water rights in California in such a covert manner. I urge a no vote on that point alone.
Thank you, Senator Nielsen. Any further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Leno, you may close.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to take just a moment in my close to respond to our Budget Committee Vice Chair's concerns. We do have, and I understand the passion and sincerity in his voice and his comments, but we have a serious point of difference here. Our legal counsel will argue strenuously that no water rights are being upended in this trailer bill, and I'll repeat that. No water rights are being upended in this trailer bill. I'm just, if I may, Madam President, read one line from an oppositional floor alert letter from the California Farm Bureau Federation.
Without objection.
In it, it says, cannabis cultivators would be given priority under the proposed system so that their water rights are in place in time for the 2018 licensing deadline. What's being confused here is that licensing deadlines do not overrule the original filing date for water rights. So if your water rights go back 20 years or 40 years or 80 years, this licensing deadline has no impact on those rights. This is not just my opinion, this is our legal counsel's opinion. So we can have differences of opinion here, but I can honestly and wholeheartedly vote for this because we have had a public process, and the suggestion that it upends California's current water rights, in our opinion, is just not so. And I would ask your aye vote.
Thank you. Senator, is this on this item? Because we have had closure, the senator is closed.
Question of the author for his closing statement.
Without objection, would you wish to take this question? All right, Senator.
Question of the author on your closing statement. So if it doesn't, what does priority rights actually change then? Why do we need priority in it at all?
As it was, and I may have to get you a more comprehensive answer, Senator, because you certainly do that. But as it was explained, if briefly, in Budget Committee yesterday, is that for the facilitation of meeting deadlines, statutory deadlines that we put in place with the statutory scheme created by legislation we passed last year, that the contents of this trailer bill are necessary. As I say, that's probably not a full enough answer for you, but Finance gave us that answer, that they're operating under some very tight deadlines. But again, it does not impact, as it's been described to me by our legal counsel, any existing water rights. That's a different consideration of law, and that these deadlines will not impact them. But I'll get you a more specific answer. Okay.
Thank you. All debate having ceased, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Aye. Anderson? No. Bates? No. Bell? Aye. Berryhill? Block? Aye. Canella? No. De Leon? Aye. Fuller? No. Gaines? No. Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? I, Hall. Hancock. Hall, I. Hancock. I, Hernandez. I, Hertzberg. I, Hill. I, Wisso. I, Huff. No, Jackson.
Aye.
I, Lada. I, Leno. I, Leva. I, Liu. I, McGuire. I, Mendoza. I, Mitchell. I, Monning. I, Morlock. Morrell. Wynn. No, Nielsen. Pan. I, Pavley. I, Roth. I, Runner. Stone. Vidak. No. Wachowski. I, Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Nielsen, no. Berryhill. No. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. No. Runner. Stone. No.
Ayes 27, noes 12. Assembly amendments are concurred in. File item 138, SB 843. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 843 by the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review, enacting to public safety and making an appropriation therefore to take effect immediately. Bill related to the budget.
Senator Leno.
Colleagues, I think this will disappoint no one. This is our last trailer bill of the day. This is our public safety trailer bill, and among the statutory changes it makes to implement the contents of the 2016-17 Budget Act that we passed yesterday, it will do a number of things. You may remember that the budget has $250 million in lease revenue bonds for jail construction for up to the 19 counties that have yet benefited from the $2.2 billion lease revenue bonds we put forward for that purpose. In addition to that, recognizing there are many counties, or at least some counties, who are not interested in building more jail cells, that there are enough jail beds in those counties, but there is need for facilities that can offer mental health, substance use disorder treatment, and services for victims suffering from crimes. That we have $67.5 million of one-time general fund for that purpose, to build these kinds of facilities, again, through the same kind of competitive grant process as the jail bonds. It also creates a diversion pilot project within the Board of State and Community Corrections, and that purpose of the program is to improve public safety and reduce recidivism by increasing the availability and use of social service resources while reducing costs to law enforcement agencies stemming from repeated incarceration. And then it also reduces the number of peremptory challenges for misdemeanor jury trials from 10 to 6 as of January 1st, 2017, and sunsetting that reduction in January 1st, 2021. This was a point of contention in conference committee, difference of opinion, personally, that I had with this proposal. There is a policy bill moving forward in the Assembly, but it was part of the agreement between the Assembly, the Senate, and the administration, so I will be supporting it. One concession, actually two concessions that we got as a result of the debate with the administration was that, given that it will be happening, but it will change the way courtrooms are operated, that we would postpone the implementation from the signing of the budget date to January 1st, 2017, so that there can be a smooth transition. Additionally, as we do reduce these peremptory challenges, we also put in a sunset of January 1st, 2021. So with those concessions, I feel a bit better about it. Otherwise, the public safety trailer bill has many thoughtful and wise investments in treatment, in rehabilitation, in reentry, so that we can deal better with those who are leaving incarceration, and always with the goal of keeping our communities safer, reducing crime rates. I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Senator Hancock, followed by Senator Stone. Senator
Thank you,
Hancock.
Madam President. I stand to also urge everyone's support of this trailer bill. California has in recent years embarked on a serious effort to reform our criminal justice system and to make a more effective system that will lead to safer neighborhoods. We found that to do this, we need to do a number of things, 4 things really: prevent crime, divert people when we first find out there are problems, rehabilitate them if they are incarcerated, and enable them to successfully return to the community as safe neighbors. This budget has something for all of those categories. The prevention is largely in the education budget. We did a good job on mental health crisis for young people, restorative justice programs in the schools. Diversion, we've worked on in the past. Many of our specialty courts have been very successful. The LEAD pilot project follows a successful project in Seattle, Washington, that not only dramatically reduced recidivism, but saved an enormous amount of money for that city. We have expanded rehabilitation in our state prisons. We still have only a fraction of the treatment and the education that is needed for our inmate population, but we are beginning to rebuild from the fact that it was almost totally eliminated earlier in the 21st century. And for the first time, as Senator Leno mentioned, we are putting money in the state budget not only to build jails and not only to build prisons, but to build what one sheriff called the infrastructure for realignment, the community facilities that can help people succeed back in the community. So I would ask for your aye vote on this forward-looking measure.
Thank you. Senator Stone.
Thank you, Madam President. I think that SB 843 has some good qualities. I appreciate the fact that the forensic populations at Napa State Hospital are going to be carefully considered, as we have some very vulnerable people there that need to be carefully transitioned into outpatient or community-based services. I also appreciate the fact that the California state judges have endorsed this, but I'll tell you a concern that we have in Riverside County in comparison to other areas of the state is that we're about 75 judges short. And I think the county of San Bernardino is facing the same judge shortage that is not a problem in some of the more urban areas like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego. So we have our courts that are jam-packed, and I know that our judges would like to have seen some funding for more judges in our county. I also am concerned about yet another increase in fees on guns, on legal owners of fire weapons. Now they're going to have increased fees on gun purchases if they want to expand their collections. And I'm also concerned about our legal judicial process, that by limiting the number of preemptory challenges to 6 from 10, that we are not going to give a fair shake to those that have been accused of crimes, and letting the process weed out, if you will, biased jurors for the benefit of the defendant that has a right to have a fair trial. I'm also concerned about the deleting of provisions that were considered temporary court user fees. Often in the state of California, we see what is often described as a temporary fee or a temporary tax. We're all very cynical, at least on this side of the aisle, that those often then get moved to be permanent, certainly in this question, to fund a questionable legal aid program. So for those reasons, Madam Chairwoman, also very concerned, of course, we have a jail funding program. There's no question we need more jails in some of our counties. Only those counties that haven't been the beneficiary of proceeds for jail constructions will be able to apply for this. I don't have a problem with the $270 million that is being proposed for those counties that need that help. The only thing I object to is that we're bonding for this It's going to create a debt service, a long-term liability for the state of California, instead of taking that money out of the general fund and reducing our indebtedness, which is over $65 billion. For those reasons, I respectfully oppose and urge no vote.
Thank you. Senator Block.
Thank you, Madam President. Just wish to speak to one small part of this very, very good bill. This small part deals with what my friend from Temecula just spoke of, and that's the reduction in peremptory challenges. I respectfully think he got it wrong. As an attorney, and as most attorneys in this room would tell you, the peremptory challenges can often be abused and used to tailor a jury and to bias a jury on racial basis, on ethnic bases, on other bases, because you don't need a rational reason for a peremptory. You can take a person off strictly because of his or her race. Now, we do have in these criminal cases, and these are just misdemeanor cases that are being affected, unlimited objections for cause. So you can challenge jurors for cause. And if you think a juror is bad or is racist or any of the things that my friend from Temecula might have thought about, you can remove that juror. So this keeps the for cause challenges unlimited. It limits those peremptory challenges that could be used to racially bias a juror. And that's why all 58 presiding judges in all 58 of our counties, all the counties we represent, support this part, again, one small part of what is a very good bill, and this is also a good part of that bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Block. Any further debate or discussion on this last budget item? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Leno, would you like to close?
Just one clarification. There are no fees in this trailer bill, no fees whatsoever. It does grant fee authority to the Attorney General of California, but there is no fee increase in the bill. I ask for your aye vote.
All debate having ceased, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Anderson? No. Bates? No. Bell? Berryhill? Block? Aye. Cannella? De Leon? Aye. Fuller? Gaines? No. Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hall? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Wesso? Huff? No. Jackson?
Aye.
Aye. Lada? Aye. Leno? Aye. Leyva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? No. Morrell? No. Wynn? No. Nielsen? No. Pan? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Roth? Aye. Runner? Stone? No. Vidak? No. Wykowski? Aye. Wolk? Wolk, aye.
Please, excuse me, no, we're going to go through the vote count one more time. Please call the absent members.
Allen? Aye. Bell? Aye. Berryhill? No. Cannella? No. Fuller? Wesso? Aye. Runner?
Ayes 26, noes 12. Assembly amendments are concurred in. Colleagues, we are going to go back to one more file item, then take up the governor's appointments, and then we will adjourn. So file item 61, Senator McGuire. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 146 by Senator McGuire relative to California-grown flower month.
Senator McGuire.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Colleagues, Humboldt County is known worldwide for their high-quality agricultural crop. Humboldt is one of the largest producing regions for this budding plant. The smell of this plant can be pretty strong, and it's often paired with chocolate, maybe even a brownie, Madam President. This crop comes in all varieties, and I do believe everyone here has their favorite, including Bernie, which she has talked to me about. And there is a famous agricultural crop in Humboldt County, but today we have lilies. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking lilies. My favorite is a stargazer, and I have to tell you, Stargazers were bred in California. It is a California lily. Humboldt County is known for incredible goods, oysters, lilies, and marijuana. And we also like to call Humboldt County, along with the great county of Santa Barbara, the flower capital of North America. In fact, more flowers are grown in both Humboldt and Santa Barbara County than anywhere else in North America. And that is why I am honored to be able to present, along with the great senator from Santa Barbara, SCR 146, which recognizes the month of June as California Grown Flower Month. The flower industry in this state dates back to the 1870s, and the North Coast is at the top of the list for exporting cut flowers across the nation. We grow hundreds of varieties of flowers in the Golden State. Humboldt is famous for tulips, lilies, and iris. Now you're going to do a great job at Jeopardy tonight. In fact, Arcata is the largest producing region of fresh tulips in the United States, and it is recognized internationally for its lily and iris production. And as I said, the Stargazer is been born and bred in California. In fact, California growers account for 75% of all domestically grown cut flowers in the world, ladies and gentlemen. And in all seriousness, the fresh cut flower market in California is a blossoming $12.2 billion industry for the Golden State. It's amazing. And I had to say, the Golden State is America's best source for high-quality cut flowers, and I hope that you'll join myself and the great senator for Santa Barbara in celebrating June as California Grown Flower Month. And Madam President, as a special note, we have the CEO of course, the Cut Flower Commission here. Mr. Cronquist is in the back, and do want to say thank you for his partnership in this incredible recognition and for the Commission's work.
Please, if we could give a round of applause to our guest and his beautiful flowers. And as a point of personal privilege, I can speak on behalf of the cut flower industry. I have no comment on the other products that were referred to by my esteemed colleague from Humboldt. And with that, it appears, Senator De Leon, that the desk is clear.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me, we have to take a vote on this. Any debate or discussion? Any objection to unanimous roll call of 39-0? Seeing and hearing none, that will be the roll call. 39-0, the measure passes. Senator De Leon, the desk is clear.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I, too, on behalf of all of the great senators on this floor, thank Mr. McGuire for these beautiful cut flowers. It happens to be that the largest market of cut flowers in the United States of America is actually in Los Angeles. It is in the flower district in Los Angeles. It's the largest cut flower industry in the entire United States of America. With that, Madam President, as well as colleagues, this was a very good, productive week. We did the people's work, and we did quite good work. I wish you the very best back home in your hard work, your travels, your family, loved ones, and friends. We will reconvene our floor session at 12 o'clock on Monday. 12 o'clock on Monday. Let's please be sharp, 12 o'clock Monday. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Senator De Leon. Colleagues, the Senate will be in recess until noon on Monday, at which time, excuse me, the Senate will be in recess today at 3:30, at which time the adjournment motion will be made. We will reconvene Monday at noon.